Music playing, glasses clinking, conversations overlapping. Some people find themselves drifting toward the balcony, or the kitchen, or even the bathroom for a minute of quiet. Not because they hate people, not because they're antisocial. But here's what's interesting. The relief they feel in that quiet space is real, physical, almost immediate. There's nothing wrong with feeling this way. Many people experience this and quietly wonder if something's off. The world praises networking, visibility, being out there. So preferring solitude can feel like a flaw, like a missed opportunity, like a personality glitch. It isn't. Psychologists suggest preference for solitude often has less to do with disliking others and more with how someone's nervous system processes stimulation. Research shows that some people are more sensitive to noise, facial expressions, tone shifts, subtle social cues. What feels neutral to one person can feel intense to another. After an hour of conversation, their emotional battery isn't low because they're bored. It's low because they've been tracking everything. The mood in the room, the slight pause before someone answers, the way a joke lands differently than expected. Most people don't think about this part. Solitude, for many, isn't escape, it's regulation. Early experiences can shape this too. A child who grew up needing to read the room quickly. A teenager who felt safest in books, music, long walks. Over time, being alone stops feeling like absence. It starts feeling like stability. And then it becomes a habit. Not a defensive one, necessarily, just familiar. Experience reinforces it. Alone time leads to clarity. Clarity leads to better decisions. Better decisions reinforce the value of stepping back. The pattern builds quietly. Coping plays a role too. When emotions run deep, processing them often requires space. Some people talk it out immediately. Others need silence first. A blank page, a late-night drive, a quiet morning before anyone else wakes up. From the outside, that can look distant. What looks like weakness often comes from sensitivity. What looks like avoidance can actually be awareness. There's a difference between isolation and chosen solitude. Isolation feels heavy, disconnected. Chosen solitude feels intentional, grounded, and personality traits matter. Introversion isn't shyness, it's about energy flow. Social interaction can be meaningful, even joyful. It just costs more energy than it generates. So solitude becomes the reset button. It's where thinking deepens, where creativity starts connecting dots, where emotions settle into something understandable. Some chase stimulation. Others look for meaning. Stimulation is loud, immediate, bright. Meaning is quieter, slower. It unfolds. A crowded weekend can be exciting. A quiet Saturday with a notebook can feel expansive. Neither is superior. They're just different ways of being alive. And here's something else most people don't consider. People who value solitude often bring depth into relationships. They don't scatter attention across dozens of connections. They tend to choose carefully, listen closely, notice details. When they speak, it's usually considered. When they care, it runs deep. The world often rewards volume, but depth builds differently, slowly, under the surface. Solitude can become a workshop for the inner world. Ideas form there. Emotions get sorted there. Identity clarifies there. It's not about withdrawing from life. It's about engaging with it in a way that feels sustainable. Of course, solitude can tip into avoidance. Anyone can hide if the outside feels overwhelming. But preference alone isn't pathology. Wanting space doesn't mean lacking social skill. Enjoying quiet doesn't mean lacking confidence. Sometimes it means being attuned to nuance, to internal shifts, to the need for recovery after intensity. And in a culture that rarely pauses, that attunement can look unusual. If any of this resonated with you, maybe it's worth reconsidering the story around solitude. Maybe it isn't something to fix. Maybe it's something to understand. Hit subscribe if these kinds of psychological deep dives help you make sense of yourself and the people around you. Click it. Watch more videos. There's a lot more beneath the surface.